Meanwhile, to the Greens, Matt Canavan, they planned a fundraising dance on Anzac Day. On Anzac Day, the West Perth Tattoo Parlour of all things. And let's not forget, of course, how the West Australian Greens Senator Jordan Steele-John defended the pro-Palestinian extremists who defaced the Australian War Memorial. Here he is then.
If we are to believe that the men and women of the ADF gave their lives in wars and conflicts to defend such freedoms, then you have to engage with the reality that protesting, that painting is a form of speech.
The Greens have now cancelled that fundraising event on Anzac Day after a huge outcry. Do you think that was just a mistake on their part or something worse?
Well, to me, Andrew, shows they have terrible instincts. Thankfully, they have responded to that outcry, but how did it even get past first base here? It got past first base because the Greens, as a political movement, are the equivalent of a massive group of spoilt brats. It's like a spoilt child who wants to complain about all the sins apparently their parents committed, but is happy to live off the wealth and generosity of those same parents. I mean, the Greens are only can engage in their democratic right to support Palestine because of the sacrifices that former Australians have made, their ancestors have made to defend the freedom of this country, but they never pay any sufficient or significant tribute to those sacrifices. Instead, just simply to like to live an easy life and not have to think about the hard sacrifices made to generate that.
Matt, I mentioned the ads earlier at the top of the show, including ones where the Labor Party is attacking the coalition for being too pro-Trump. I wonder, though, much as I deny that allegation, I do wonder why there isn't more robust criticism of Donald Trump. Is it, maybe some people have got a hero worship of him, or they're too scared to criticise him and offend some on the right here? But this pandering to the Russian president by Donald Trump has become obscene. A day ago, he claimed the Russian missile attack on Palm Sunday that killed 34 Ukrainian civilians was just a mistake. And now he blames Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for Putin invading Ukraine and slaughtering his citizens. Have a look.
He's always looking to purchase missiles, He's against, listen, when you start a war, you got to know that you can win the war, right? You don't start a war against somebody that's 20 times your size and then hope that people give you some missiles.
Isn't it time the coalition says straight out, Trump's position here is not just wrong, it's immoral?
Andrew, I don't know how wise that would be given the first questions you asked me about Russia's influence in our region. America is our most important ally. Fundamentally, it's their choice to choose who their president is. I think one of the strange things about foreign policy discussions all around the Western world is that everybody seems to think they have the right to dictate what America does with its funds, with its military resources, etc. That's a matter for the American people. I think if we are true friends with America, it would do us some service to actually think a bit deeply about why what Donald Trump is saying, what JD Vance says, what many senior politicians I've spoken to the US, why that's so supported in the US. It's probably because they haven't had a real wage rise since the 1970s. They've got $37 trillion in debt.
That's got nothing to do with it, Matt,
since September 11th.
That wasn't what I asked
Andrew,
you.
Andrew, he's a democratically elected president.
There's plenty of reasons.
And what he's saying is actually
too why so many
in
Germans voted for Adolf Hitler. I don't want to say Trump is Hitler, but there's a lot of reasons why people take political positions.
If that's your comparison, though, Andrew, why are we still in an alliance with the US? Seriously, I mean, that's an absurd statement.
No,
and it's not just Donald Trump. It's wrong. It's wrong, Andrew. It's absolutely wrong to say this is Donald Trump. I've had discussions with senior senators, senior congressmen who say exactly the same thing. And this is we don't seem to understand the wellspring of
more people saying the wrong
anxiety
thing.
in the US.
It doesn't make it a right thing, Matt. More people saying the wrong thing is not more people saying the right thing.
That's a matter for the American people. We should look after ourselves, Andrew. We should look after our own country. We should focus a little bit more on that.
Russia, mate, he says Zelensky's to blame for Russia invading his own country. That is a disgrace, and it just embarrasses me that that is seen as now something you can't even deny. You know, it's just extraordinary. I think the coalition's got to wake up to itself on this one.
As a good Conservative, Andrew, I'm focused on our country, our region. I think one of the problems, one of the reasons the US finds itself, if I can answer, one of the reasons the US found itself
on
in
this
$37
matter
billion
is
of
not
debt
a Conservative
and its reaction
position.
against it is because they're getting themselves involved in all of these issues around the world that they don't understand, and I don't want Australia to repeat the same mistakes.
Well, it's a very great mistake to say that Ukraine is to blame for being invaded. And it's a shame that the coalition cannot say that straight out. Well, you didn't deny it, mate, and I thought that was a bit bad, to be honest. Matt Canavan, we'll have more about this, you and I, maybe later, and when I get, perhaps when it's all cooled down a bit. Thank you so much.